Ryan Lee Smith is a contemporary Cherokee artist who uses found items to create everything he does. He lives on the land he grew up on here in Oklahoma and says that's what inspires him more than anything.
My name is Ryan Lee Smith. I'm from Creek County, Oklahoma, Bristow, but born in Tahlequah. I'm a painter and a sculptor. I learned in art school exactly what the rules were and that they were completely ridiculous. And I sold abstracts, complete, non-objective pieces for 20 years. It was still a little contrived, It felt like I was working harder before I got here, and now it just flows out. Now it's just, it's effortless. I left for a while, came back, and when I got back, that's when it all started making sense, man. That's when I felt guilty for taking all of it for granted, and I was just hypersensitive just to everything. The creeks I used to play in, those giant rocks, it was, still is, just full of sentiment. I couldn't do it in the middle of town, that's for sure.
We're more alike, really, than my husband just shakes his head at us.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't want to, you don't want to tell him what you're doing with something.
First piece he done me was chalk, and it's a big bass. Our minister loves his artwork. He thinks that Ryan captures the eyes, the spirit of the, he said, Ryan, you've got the spirit. He did him a crow, and he loved his crow because he said, through his eyes, he could see Ryan having the feeling as he was doing it.
My grandmother, that's where all my values come from. Who do you most want to emulate? Who taught you the things that you use today? You use to make your decisions. You use to, feel excitement. There's everybody, has somebody like that, I'm sure. I met my wife in Colorado. She was going to school at Fort Lewis. I was just running around, in Durango. And when I met her, I really came on strong. She goes, I've been looking for you for a long time, I acted all. It worked. I did her a painting, too. I'll show you the painting.
This one was my favorite one. He had said he had a dream where he was in the woods and there was a bear and an eagle hugging, and it was like they were dancing. I told him that my end name was, like a little bear walking down a path, and he goes, hey. And then he came back a couple days later with this. That was us then, the dream. I had to be, because it was before it was like right before we had met and started dating. So I always thought that was neat.
I couldn't do this if, someone didn't make the nest, just right. Because, you gotta have a good nest to go crazy, man. I rely on her for everything, She takes care of our two boys, which I got the third king in the next week. Yeah, very fortunate to have an understanding partner. That's what I do everything for. I do every single thing, Standing right here for that same reason, The work that I'm doing now is more authentic, it's more genuine, it's like a gift, it just comes out. There's so many things I want to just recreate, represent, build, and tear up, and burn down, and it's hard to contain. I'm building this crazy sculpture in the middle of the pasture. I'm building a house in the shape of an eagle. I'm not in any big hurry, and I'm just doing it by myself with all repurposed materials. Each one of these bays will be that's the heart of the bird, right there in the center. And each one of these bays will be a different, maybe a level, and the one will go like that, and kick that wing out so you can see each other from each tip, from one end to the other. it's a faith game, man, and I have 100%, confidence. I'm certain, I'm convinced that it's all gonna work out. Definitely being in the moment and not hindsight or careful planning and forethought and stuff like that. It sounds crazy to say it out loud, but it really is. If I'm down completely, just, 30 hours from home and no money, and I gotta cry all the way, back across the country, and I know that something is happening. And now I realize that at that moment when I feel like going crazy and quitting, if I can be in that moment and know that I'm feeling that way at that second, I can make myself just persevere just a little bit further, and it's always like 10 times better than what I was planning,
We've provided a link to Ryan's website on ours. Just go to osiyo.tv and click on links mentioned.